Kaneda, you gotta keep it together. Ah, how's everybody doing? A little late, but I'm just trying to figure something out. I hate. How you looking? We looking good? We looking good. We feeling good. It's a beautiful day. I mean, it's absolutely a beautiful day. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm trying. I'm trying to get a sense of Is my hat crooked? There we go. A Kung Fu Louie, baby. Kung Fu Louie. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday morning. You enjoyed the WAP show. Good. I enjoyed making it. I think everybody enjoyed listening to it, and it really was long overdue. And it's just nice to have just to be connected again and not have any bad blood between any of the content creators out there. I really feel like I get along with everybody now in the content space for the most part. There's no drama happening anywhere. The only guy that I don't care anymore is just Colin. What it is, what it is, but I don't really care. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday morning. I'm your host, Kaneda here. We're gonna go for about an hour here. It's a bit of a beautiful day, and I'm trying to figure something out. Maybe you guys can help me. I'm trying to figure something out. I'm trying to figure out how to get this big heavyweight UFC fight today. Like I hate the modern streaming world. Oh, you want me to put the Franchi shirt on? Hold on. Let me I can go put that on. Hold on one second, everybody. Hold on. Franchi shirt coming up. Glad you could drop by. All right, we got it on now. 10th anniversary. Franchi artwork. I like it. I like the large too, man. I'm always wearing medium is my size, but like every once in a while, it's to have like a nice, comfortable, baggy shirt. I feel like the last thing you want on a weekend is any tight clothing. 10 years of Franchi. We'll move the mic out of the way a little bit so we can see it. The 10th anniversary. Congratulations, brother. Can't wait to see Beetlejuice. How's everybody doing? Hi from Barcelona. Saturday morning here. I'm going to talk for about an hour about what's going on in pinball, and it's an interesting time. I just did a show this morning, and I think we're all kind of really looking forward to seeing what these boutique companies are going to put out in the pinball world. Stern is in a little bit of a tailspin. It's funny to watch Stern having to correct the ship. They seemingly I just think that their strategy just wore thin, and they set themselves up for short-term profitability to cook the books to sell that company during COVID, and it's now backfired because they didn't get the sale, and now they don't have like a way to validate their extremely high prices, and because the secondary market on their products have just collapsed. It's like you really do have to be a sucker to buy a Stern new in box these days. I really don't understand it. Their only way out is either to lower prices or make amazing games, and they just feel like they've got nothing left. Fall of the Empire is true. I mean, we're all watching it. It's funny too because this is all of their own making. They legitimately made so many mistakes in a row, and now all of it is collectively caught up to them, and I just think they're going to struggle. They need a move. You know what I'm saying? They need a move. They need a move that's gonna really reinstate them as being the best game, and, like volume, whatever. We know they're the biggest manufacturer, but come on, gang, in life, do you go to McDonald's for the best burger in town? Do you go to, Honda for the most enjoyable car experience? So again, I just think Stern tried to do both. They tried to be volume and exclusivity and premium pricing all at once, and it's just caught up to them. High prices and mediocre games equals struggles. Yeah. What's up? You're in Kyoto, man? Nuno. Dude, man, Kyoto is like, really am so jealous that you're in Kyoto right now. I would love to be there. Absolutely incredible location to be. Stern be more like White Castle. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Like, I think there's going to be a really interesting week. I know a little stuff I can't say everything about, but I think we're gonna get a sense of when Beetlejuice is gonna drop this week. I think we're also gonna see if these Winchester mystery houses arrive to customers before Thanksgiving. Why did I say Thanksgiving? Before Halloween. Before Halloween. Uh I'm in the thread and everyone's speculating on whether or not Winchester is gonna go up in value or not. Normal conversation at this stage. You got a very limited run game. You got a game it's 11-6, gang. It's not cheap. And what's going to happen now? And I don't know about most of you guys, but do most of you guys, are you really in a situation where you can just be cut in like 20 grand in 1 month for pinball machine, $25,000 for two pinball machines? You know what I'm saying? Because if you go Winchester and Spooky, Stern's also going to, I think, try to sell The Walking Dead on top of these two games. This is the issue. This is the issue. What's up, man? Um, the issue is like right now, I think Walking Dead, Winchester, and Beetlejuice within a 4-week period, they're going to be asking people for deposits and maybe potentially payment in full. And it's funny because when you think about whether it's Winchester or Beetlejuice or Walking Dead remastered, I mean, it's the Stern machine that everyone's gonna be like, do I need it? I mean, looking at every single Stern, because Walking Dead Remastered is not going to hit like Metallica Remastered. This is not. It was never as good as a game as Metallica. Metallica got the band involved with the remastered game. Walking Dead, what are they going to get? What do you think? You think Norman Reedus is in on it? Do you think they're going to get like the show clips? I mean, I highly doubt it. Also, culturally, Metallica is still Metallica, right? Metallica music, the game has all the iconic songs. Metallica will always be cool. Walking Dead, in my honest opinion, has kind of lost its cultural cachet and culture. Like, I just don't think people care anymore. And Beetlejuice is iconic. There's a difference. Like certain things are iconic. Certain things have lasted 40 years and are still like iconic. Tim Burton, Beetlejuice, iconic. Metallica music, iconic. Guns N' Roses music, iconic. The Walking Dead, it's not iconic anymore. What game will have more skeletons, Metallica or Walking Dead? It's going to be a real interesting. The price is going to be everything on Walking Dead, right? Will Stern use the Walking Dead remastered to usher in full Spike 3, and will we see a price increase? I love that they're so terrified of this like price increase that they really don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. Like what Stern should have done normally, like normal tech company, because they talk about themselves as a tech company, which I would say I don't disagree with that. It's a different kind of tech, but what Stern should have done was had a very Apple like introduction of Spike 3 in which they went over all of the features and all of what's to come all at once. This sort of half rollout of Spike 3, not really a fan of it. Came with wife for 3 weeks. Yeah, man. Nara's amazing. Kyoto's amazing. Tokyo's amazing. Look, you did it right, man. Any advice on Tokyo? Um, don't stay in Ginza. Go to the arcades in Akihabara. You know, the fish the markets are amazing. Go to the Tokyo fish market and have some otoro right off the catch on the boat. All the food's amazing in Japan. You don't have to spend a ton, but really just enjoy it, man. Go to Piss Alley and just get wasted on sake and whiskey, and then go have like an amazing meal and just enjoy life, man. There's no more there is no culture that leads with class and respect and cleanliness, and a culture out there that actually puts the society and the community first now than Japan. I mean, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go visit Japan. You need to go to a Japanese owned establishment and see the level of just class and respect and friendliness that you just don't get anywhere else. It's incredible. I mean, the world in a way like needs a reset, and unfortunately, Japan reset after World War II. And unfortunately, it's looking like the world is heading in that direction, that we're not going to ever reset culture until we hit rock bottom again. Hey, Kaneda, recently started listening to some of the older podcasts while driving. You were right more than you were wrong. I mean, well, look, uh, is it Eric Arcade? Let's see. Erie Arcade. I thank you. I think that I've been more on point than off. And I think people listen to the show because it's a different opinion. It's an opinion that's always been about looking out for us as consumers and looking out for the community and also just speculating on the market. It's been fun. I don't really care about manufacturer relationships per se. I'm not shilling product because I sell them. Not yet. Maybe one day, right? The Last of Us made everyone forget about The Walking Dead. I don't know, man. I feel like The Last of Us has turned into like a woke BS show that nobody cares about either. That's the last I heard about The Last of Us. The problem with The Last of Us show, and I stopped watching it. I just can't. I can't actually take seriously that you're gonna try to have like 100-pound woman can beat the crap out of like a 200-pound man or 250-pound man. Like literally, like how? How in what world does this happen? Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? And once the main character got killed, forget it. I feel like everyone's moved on. Did you take down your playlist DJ remix? Needs re-uploading. Love that. My 80s mix, the long 80s mix. Um, let me see if it's still up. Kaneda's. I don't think it's down. Hold on. 80s mix pinball. I think it's still up. Let me see. It should be on SoundCloud. Let me drop it in the chat for you clowns. Let's see. Just looking right now. I love the picture of Jack holding. IMDb. I'll get it back up if it's not there now. Spooky Luke's in the house. So, have you played Dune yet? Wayne, no. I haven't gone to Automated to play more Dune. The Wayne, I know you're on a mission to sell these Dune machines, but Wayne, here's the deal. Wayne, they've sold less Dunes in Winchester. I don't understand. Like that is that is an abysmal failure. In 2 days, Winchester Mystery House outsold Dune in 6 months. But hey, Wayne got 8 people or 12 people to buy one. Yeah, well, I my show didn't go exactly as planned, and I didn't really play anything much on Friday because I just when I got escorted out of the hall or the game room, if you will, if when I got escorted out of Expo and all that drama went down that wasn't necessary, I just kind of didn't care to go back into the room. I know Barrels had a separate room with the games in it, but I'll tell you how my day went. So that happened. Then I literally had to leave at 3 o'clock, 3:30 to get to a 5:30 dinner in downtown Chicago. We had an amazing omakase meal from 5:30 to, 7:30, and then we were back at the expo by 8:30, and then I went in a little bit just to say hi to some people, but then I didn't really wanna hang out there, and then I went to the bar for a little bit, went to the piano for a little bit, and just kinda roamed around outside of the show. I just, yeah, I didn't want I just again, I was kind of I gotta be honest, I was on, I was I was feeling good. I had a bunch of sake, a bunch of whiskeys. I had a good buzz going. You ever have a good buzz going? And, I mean this when I say this. I had a good buzz going. I was having a great time. And they did not try and kick me out. I'm just gang. This is the last time I'm going to tell this real quick story. Again, I'm not even going to mention names anymore. There was an individual that took it upon himself to grab a security guy, one of Rob's security guys, to say that I was banned from Expo for life and I wasn't allowed in the show. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't even confront this individual. He came up to me. He found me at the show. He escorted me out with security at around 10:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning. The hotel security guy that runs the whole hotel security guy reached out to Rob Burke and Bridget, who said, no, that's not true. He does not have authority to kick Kaneda out of the show. He was told that. He walked away. He didn't apologize to me. And the hotel security guy said, Chris, look, I don't know what to tell you other than you're fine, but I would just avoid that gentleman and his friend. And so when I'm told that I, that's awkward, right? It's an awkward thing to be told to have to do at it's a tiny little show. So I decided then cool. I don't even want to go back in. So I didn't really go back in. So it is what it is, right? And as I said before, I don't know the guy. I don't know what I did to that guy. And I know he's friends with Glenn, and I'm sure there's a whole thing there. And it is what it is. So, but again, as I said in my last show, I hold no ill will towards that individual. I don't know what I did to him. I tried to call him a few times before the show to to settle any grievances he may have had with me, to which he never picked up the phone nor responded. So I don't really care to and I don't want anyone to do anything to that individual. I don't think anybody should. I don't think other people should fight other people's fights. I don't think there even is a fight in this situation. I just think it's an unfortunate thing to be at a show having such a good time, and then to have been sort of embarrassed, if you will, like that after all the work I do for content and all the good times we were having. So that's it. It was Bug from Spooky. I don't think anyone should be banned from the show. I don't think anybody should be banned from the show. I don't think anybody should be I think it's look, here's my take on all of this. If there's people that you don't like, we're not little woke babies. If there's people that you don't like at a show, instead of crying to show security or Rob Burke that you're not going to go if they're there, just go and don't interact with them. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that's the mature adult thing to do. Like, if I don't like, I don't know, let's just say, for example, if I don't like this pinball manufacturer, then I'm just not going to walk over to that area and hang around that manufacturer, or I'm not going to go seek out that individual. I think what was frustrating for me is I didn't interact with said individuals. They simply saw me there having a good time, and they seeked me out to single me out to throw me out of the show. And so it again, like I don't. It was not Rob Burke. It wasn't anyone affiliated with the show. And look, it was over in 10 minutes. It was all over in 10 minutes. But it can sometimes only take 10 minutes to make you feel like you're not wanted somewhere or awkward or whatever. Did you and Ralph make amends? I saw Ralph. We shook hands. And, it's not like we sat down and had a beer or anything. I visited his panel discussion, which was really well done. And I said to him afterwards that he did a great job. And it's like, Kale and I said it. Like, it's like we're just kind of like just building some bridges to people, because this, it doesn't like just go away like that. If you have an issue with people, it doesn't just resolve instantly. And I think, you saw a little bit of that. Talking to Don yesterday was great. Like, I'm sure Ralph and I will have a show together soon, probably on the round table coming up. Um, and so like, I think you're going to see more of it. I think what's fun about it is I think everybody that loves pinball content creators and enjoys pinball content creators for our diversities of opinion, for our different approaches to pinball content, I think everybody enjoys seeing everybody on our level at least just get along, right? This isn't like Fox News, MSNBC kind of vibes. Like, we're all just covering pinball. And so I don't think making amends and hanging out with Don or Ralph or sort of Loser Kid and everybody, I don't think any of that changes how we're all going to approach pinball and how we're going to make our content. And again, because I've always said this, like, for people, it's always hard for me because a lot of people don't tune into my show. And on my show itself, and for those of you who do, I rarely, other than giving credit to people having rumors, like I just gave Don credit today for this Ghostbusters JJP rumor, which is interesting. Um, I rarely mention other content creators, if ever, and never like bring any beef or drama there anymore. Like, maybe years ago, I used to use my platform for to sort of call people out like on the content level, but all that's changed. And I'll say this, I went down those roads of being that way and being strident and being an a-hole at times and sort of like picking fights and also defending my honor and all this dumb stuff, right? All this dumb stuff. And it never ended up with anybody feeling good. It never ended up with anybody winning. And it never made any of our audience or our fans or our listeners, it never made anybody have a good time. Like, nobody wants to follow that. And that is, and that's why even more recently, as I see certain content creators trying to use beef with me to make money, right? Albert and Colin, prime examples, like two guys making content that they want you to subscribe to their stuff to hear them insult me. Like, again, I almost feel bad for those two guys, because having gone down that road and having done that before and learned, in the end, all that will ever do is make you feel bad inside. It will. Because when you go on these like one-way rants against a person without that person on to defend themselves, and then to use it as like, I'm using this to challenge him to come, like, no, that's not how grown adults take meetings. It's not how grown adults want to engage in dialogue. So it's just, it is what it is. Well, gang, I don't know if the Twippies are dead. I think we might see a return, but it's not going to be the way it used to be. So this is all like formulating, I hear, but from what I hear, the changes are going to make it better and back to what it used to be, which is none of this woke voting system that nobody liked. I mean, you got to remember, like when you actually look at the history of the Twippies, there was a very direct and concerted effort to keep Kaneda from winning. Like they kept changing the rules so much so I would eventually lose. And they finally got, they finally achieved that. They finally made enough alterations to the point where like I barely lost because of the weighted voting system. But and look, I couldn't have lost to a better guy though. I mean, Kale and I and Rachel, I love them. I mean, they were at the omakase dinner with me. Like that, in the end, like what they'll never restore is the value of the award show because it, that's the way life works. Like a lot, much like a pinball company, the your brand and you like we're all like in the content space, we're all individual brands. Like Kaneda, Zach, Greg, Ken, like we're brands. Like people they know us as something, right? They expect something from us. They enjoy content that comes from people. Carrie, Ralph, like Don, like Jeng like everyone's got their kind of thing going on, right? And you just got to be careful with your brand because, and I've learned this the hard way. When you act like an asshole, I'm sorry to curse, when you act like a jackass and you do something that you're not proud of and you wake up the next day and you're like, why did I do that? Like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I get drunk and act like a baby? Or why did I throw a drink in a dude's face? Or why did I complain about this or that? And I think you just, for me, there's usually one common denominator, like usually, and it's usually alcohol. Like I make there's no mystery what happens in my head between being a sober person and someone who's got too many in them. And it's not that the real me is coming out. It's actually a little bit more of the opposite. It's there is more of like an anger that brews, I think, when I get too drunk. And it's usually when I'm like expecting to be excited and it doesn't go my way. And I'm, three sheets to the wind, as they would say in Ireland. That's usually when I lash out in a way that I 9 out of 10 times I would regret. And I should just shut up, go home, you know, have a glass of water and just chill, bro. Chill. Life's too short. Um, well, Brad, it's like the thing about like repeating bad behaviors is like it's so much easier said than done when you don't change the common denominator that led to the bad behavior, right? Because it's like, and you ask people who have like serious drinking problems. Uh I just there's times when I don't know when to stop. And that's always the problem. Is like, everyone look, everyone I think everyone goes into most things in life with good intentions and it doesn't always end up that way. So I think I'm happy to say here October 25th, 2025, that Don said this word yesterday when people asked him about doing a show with Kaneda, because I knew it's hard for Don to do that show. I know it. Like, I know it's hard because of things I've said in the past and what we've said to each other. I know it's hard because it got personal, which it shouldn't have. I also know it's hard because there's people that follow Don and look up to Don that are disappointed in his decision to do a show with me, right? And I know that. And then and it's like, and I also have like Canada fan members who don't want to see any any reconciliation. I have dudes who are like, they want me to go at everybody all the time. I'm like it's easy for you to coach me to be strident and lead me to war against individuals when you don't have to suffer the consequences of what those feelings are, right? Kaneda, go after like this guy. Kaneda, go after this company. Kaneda, go after him. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to wake up always putting out negativity or anger, and you don't have to like deal with any of the consequences of what those actions might bring to me. Especially, guys, you got to remember, like, on top of all this pinball stuff, which I love to talk about every day, I've got two little sweet little boys that I want to set a good example for. Two little sweet boys that look up to me, that I'm their hero. And like, if I do something stupid in the pinball space that puts me in a bad mood and makes me close up, because of my own stupidity or just anger, like whatever it is, just being in a bad mood, right? And then I got to go downstairs, and these two little cherubic angels are so excited to see their dad. How asinine would it be for me to take the hobby that I love and then do stuff that would make my interactions with the people I love the most suffer because I made my hobby and the communications within the hobby create, you know, disruption in my peace of mind, if you will. And look, that's why Ralph was like, if Kaneda is like creating disruption to my peace of mind, I'm just going to avoid Kaneda. And he did. And look, and I know like the whole, disclosing that you got paid in a Potter was like kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, but you just got to disclose that stuff, and then we're all good. And no one cares. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. In the end, it's like Potter is a great game and everybody loves it. And, it's selling so well for JJP. And if Ralph said I got paid in a Potter machine to make that video, I don't think it changes one person's point of view about Harry Potter. I don't even think it changes one person's point of view about Retro Ralph. I think in the end, all it does is make people happy to see content creators actually getting paid for putting in the work. Kale Hernandez, baby. The Building Bridges story. Kale, it's beautiful. You know what, Kale, what's funny about, as we've been calling it amongst ourselves, the Building Bridges tour, is it's interesting because I think there's some people out there that would absolutely love to see me canceled. Colin, Albert, and what's annoying to those people is how when you kill them with kindness and you actually behave in a way that is contrarian to their agenda of canceling you, they don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do. I heard somebody told me Albert said, like, wait till Kaneda hears that Don got hired by Spooky. He's going to go off and he's going to go crazy and he's going to be so mad. When I heard that Don was working with Spooky, I sent him a note congratulating him. And I thought it was great. And I thought he has a lot of good ideas for Spooky. And I know how passionate he is about pinball and their company. And I know that he loves roller coasters and other thrill rides, that he wants to sort of infuse some of that thinking into pinball. And so I said, I think this is great. And I think good ideas can come from anywhere as long as they're good ideas, right? Why would I wish ill upon a man who's kind of got a dream thing going on for him? And I don't look at Don moving to Benton with any envy. Here's what I think. I think Don is very happy with his family. I think he's very happy with his life. And so am I with my life. I wish I wish I wish the real estate prices were the same as Benton. But everything's relative. Everything's relative. But what's not relative is, happiness. Like, happiness is like, it's not like happiness in Benton, Wisconsin, happiness in Rowayton, Connecticut, happiness in Kyoto, happiness in Vancouver, happiness wherever you are. Like, happiness is, it doesn't change what makes you happy because you move from here to here to here. I mean, sure, there's some environmental things that can change how happy you are, but ultimately it comes down to how do you feel about yourself and how do you feel about the decisions you make and how do you feel about the people you've surrounded in your life. And I've said this from the very beginning, the true value of this hobby is in the people that it has brought into your lives. We spent an inordinate amount of time discussing these companies in these games, right? But here's the thing: we've all we've all seen enough of these companies in these games to know that they're not really going to surprise us or elevate this hobby as much as the people in this hobby will elevate your life. And when you understand that my life and my happiness will be elevated by the incredible individuals I meet in pinball, then you can start to somewhat put the product itself where it belongs as a toy that is just a conduit to much more valuable things that we all need as humans. You're not a bug. And when you realize that, it's a beautiful thing. And look, I don't think you guys always come here to hear this kind of speak. I know you want me to like talk about Mystery House and do I think it's going to go up in value? And I'll get there in a little bit. No, I don't think it's going to go up in value. I think it's an amazing game for the time. I think it was perfectly launched. And I think there's a starving bunch of collectors out there that would have slept with any girl that bought them a drink at the bar. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? And like when a girl walks up to the bar and you haven't been laid in months and buys you a drink, if that girl's a 6, you're looking at her like she's a 9. Okay? Now, I'm not saying, Winchester's a 6, but what I'm saying is you've got thousands of pinball collectors that haven't been laid by a game in years. And Winchester's Mystery House just bought them a drink. They didn't see it coming. They didn't know that girl was coming into the bar. They didn't know that girl was going to, do something different and actually make the first move. And man, 525 horny collectors just got laid by getting their deposit in. Now, what I've been saying for the last few weeks, I think when Beetlejuice drops and people are asked to pay in full for Winchesters and they've never played it and you grew up with Beetlejuice, you're going to see spots open up. I think people will regret if there's any scalpers out there, they're going to regret not flipping a few of these Winchester spots right now. Now is the time to get out. You always get out when the hype is hot. It's going to the hype is not this is the thing is like hype is usually early on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to get stronger as the weeks and months go on. It's going to get quieter. Like look how good Harry Potter is right now, right? But no one talks about it much anymore. Nobody cares. And now it's just like, the hype window's gone. Now it's just like make them. It feels like an old game. It feels like we've seen it for years. We knew about it for years. Same thing with, and that's the thing about Winchester. The benefit it has is like we haven't talked about it for years. We haven't been expecting it for years. But will it maintain an indelible bond with collectors that they won't let them go often? I don't know. Maybe I would be a jerk and prejudiced against barrels if I told you the answer is no, it's not. No, it's not going to do that because it's not my opinions that determine those things. It's the market and it's the consumer reaction to a game. Right now, no consumer has it in their home. So I don't know. All I can go off of is other people's firsthand experiences on things. So that's like, it's like, so like I formulated a lot of my own feelings around Harry Potter by reading about what so many people's opinions about Potter have been. And then I jump on the machine. I played it myself. I opened up the coin door. I saw all, I literally played Potter for a half hour straight and kept using the coin door ball save to see the entire game. And there's like some really cool stuff in there. There absolutely is. But I was also like, man, this game's like, there's no way people are going to see a lot of this because of how hard it would be to get to a lot of this. But that's JJP, man. You got to own the game for years and you still don't like Guns N' Roses. Like, you're never going to on a 3-ball game. You're never seeing No Sympathy for the Devil. Never. No. No, no, no. The outlane drains on this game are the slingshot drains on the outlanes in this game are just so brutally hard. I mean, this is a brutal game. I sometimes think like, GNR gets indicted for being clunky. I indict it because I hate the outlane drains from the slings. I just think it's brutal. I think there's too many of them. And because there's no flow, you get frustrated because there's a lot of trap and go in GNR. And what sucks is Guns N' Roses music is so high energy and so fast. Like when GNR songs are playing and you've got this more like stop and go clunky game, that's really the big issue with GNR. Like if Guns N' Roses shot like Elton John, and when Welcome to the Jungle's going, you're getting into a rhythm and you're like banging like ramps and combos and this and that, like almost like, and that's what Guns N' Roses does not have. It's like the gameplay and the music are so disconnected that it's only like the music and the lights are really connected, but the gameplay is kind of like so unfulfilling in the sense of like you really are just wanting this rock and roll gameplay. And instead, you've got this kind of like trap and go. And, I don't know. Like then you get like, the gameplay keeps slowing you down while the music wants to speed you up. And I think that's the big miss on Guns N' Roses. What Eric should have done in this game is opened it up more. He absolutely should have opened it up more. I mean, automated selling them for 6,500. I mean, nobody wants a GNR LE now. The other issue with GNR are the lights wash out if you've got to shoot for and call outs and 3 shots behind what you have to shoot for. Um, yeah, I don't, I still don't know what to do fully in the game. Like, it's like the thing that I mean, like the other big issue I have with GNR is like they just made they put too much in it. There's too many patches. There's too many like it's confusing how to get like extra ball lit. It's confusing how um the game works. Like I almost feel like GNR would have been better if it was like this. If like the goal of the game was to get to like stitch together 4 songs in a row is how you get to like encore in the final wizard mode. You know what I'm saying? Like GNR needed to like be like more like that, where you pick your opening track, then your follow-up song, then do another, make it through one more song, and then you get to encore the final song of your show. Like, create like a little mini four song. Because think about like 4 GNR songs, this and that, like with you're talking about like 20 minutes there to get to like the final mode or something, the first wizard mode. Like it just because to me right now, like the problem with GNR is like it is kind of just like like you're playing a jukebox kind of, and then you're playing a jukebox to get the score. But you know, I don't know. There's some really cool stuff. I just think if the gameplay and the way they arrange some of the stuff was a little bit more satisfying to get to, it would just be a different game. What else is going on, people? How you doing? I just want to say, like, I'm very appreciative of everybody who supports Kaneda's Pinball Podcast and hangs out here every Saturday morning. Hey, is anyone here into the UFC? Because I need help. I'm trying to get this UFC fight today. It's at 2:00 in Abu Dhabi. It's Aspinall versus like Gain. And does anyone know how to get it? Like, do I need ESPN and then order pay-per-view? Or if I have ESPN, because I'll tell you this, I hate the way streaming is now. Like I just got YouTube TV last night to watch the World Series. I don't have basic cable. I'm not sure how to even get the game. You have to have ESPN Plus to buy the pay-per-view. So annoying. So I don't understand that. Like, so now I've got to go like subscribe to another service. Can I get ESPN Plus with like Disney Plus and Hulu? My favorite Guns N' Roses song, Bug, in life or in the game? Um, I think, here's the thing. What Here's the thing. We've all seen the Cuphead pictures. There's a video of Cuphead that's floating around. Someone has like a video of like I think all those images are screen grabs from the David Fix apparently sent a video around of gameplay to people. I don't know, man. Cuphead's not getting made. And if but I think like there's like some Australian pinball show coming up where I don't know, where Cuphead is listed as being one of the games to be showed there. I need Disney bundle, Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. I hate it all. So my favorite Guns N' Roses song of all time, I would have to say is November Rain. I mean, I just think November Rain, and I also think November Rain is one of my least favorite songs in the game, and I'll tell you why. I love the way it starts out, but for being such an iconic song, I think whoever did the coding on Guns N' Roses November Rain on the pinball machine just stopped working on it after 2 minutes. They didn't do anything with the lights to capture any of the magic of Slash's solos, and the worst part is, like, the end of the game, right? Where you know, there's that moment of silence, it's like, they didn't do anything with the lights. Like, the light show doesn't change at all. Like, the game should have gone dark. Those piano notes and that solo, like, like that. How did they didn't sync up the lights with any of that. So when I got to the end of November Rain, I was so disappointed how mediocre the light show is on the game. Superbox? What is a superbox? That sounds like a physical thing I need to get. I'm not stealing cable, guys. I'm sorry. Um, I wouldn't buy anything from AP until they pay all the vendors and employees they owe money to. Well, yeah, I mean, Dan, no one's buying anything. Dan, by the way, it was great seeing you at Expo. Sorry, we couldn't hang out much longer. But we'll definitely do it again. Don't be a soy boy and ask GP. Where's Sad Boy been? Are the are the monetized chats not here, gang? I don't see the ability to give money on the chats. Where'd that go? You guys see it? That's interesting. I don't understand where my ability to make money is. Next week we'll do it. Yeah, where'd the super chat go? Hmm. I don't understand tech. Like I didn't touch anything and now the super chats are gone. Whatever. It is I'll survive. I'll survive without busking for money. Everyone can head over to Facebook and give me stars where Apple will take like 40% of the money. Yeah, gang, I didn't hang out in the bar as much as I thought I was at Expo. Is anyone going to should I go to pinball at the beach? I feel like pinball at the beach in February is really a good time of year to feel like, you want to be in the sun. So maybe I'll look to go to pinball at the beach. Part of me just thinks I should be invited to these shows and the shows should actually set me up with a booth. The shows should the shows, sh- you know, I do feel like the show should do a little bit for all of us, like content creators. What's sold out? The show sold out? or the hotel's sold out. There's a lot of hotels right there. I don't know. Like there's one across the street. The ideal topper for Beetlejuice, I think would be I don't know. I would love that. Like, isn't there like that scene where he has like he turns his like fists into hammers and it does like like the carnival game? I think that would be an awesome topper idea. Or the tiny head Beetlejuice on the topper. No, they never booked me to Australia. Pinball at the beach. So you're telling me if I walked up to pinball at the beach, they'd be like, "We're sold out." Well, I don't understand what sells out. Tickets to the show or the hotel rooms? Because I'm assuming anyone can just walk up locally and go to the show, right? Is it the hotel rooms that sell out? Put a link in the chat to the hotel. Let's see. You would be able to get in. They only sold 1,000 tickets. I do you guys really go to like sunny Florida and you're there playing pinball under a tent? Media pass don't sell out. Yeah, I mean, I think Rob needs to really get better at giving like media credentials at media need to have credentials like vendors and because in the end a lot of us like struggle to get time on games because we couldn't get in early. And I think that's unfortunate. It's also like, media want to be able to go in early. If I want to interview people from the expo floor, like it just gets too crowded, too loud. Like it'd be nice to walk in an hour early, an hour and a half early, schedule interviews with some of the manufacturers. They're all there. They all set up early. It's funny. You go in early and it's all the vendors playing each other's games. Like Chris Turner jumping on Winchester, vice versa. Yet none of the media have credentials to get in there and be a part of that. Why would I? But here's the thing: why would I rent a booth? I mean, I think about that for a minute. Like, why would I? I mean, other than like what you said, like call people over and do interviews from my booth. I mean, I could potentially do that, but here's why I don't want to rent a booth: is I don't want to be tied to a booth, and I like walking around more than I like sitting there, like waiting for people to come by. I don't know. I don't know. I just have this kind of feeling that I've done enough to the 12 years of making pinball content, and I'm still sort of like the redheaded stepchild of like the industry is funny to me. It's funny to me. I mean, it's even funny to me that like, like I didn't really see the Stern employees, but like it's funny to me that they're not reaching out. Hey, hey Chris, like let's meet up. Like let's talk about let's give him something, I find it funny because the I still think they don't take us that seriously. I still think they don't understand that there is definitely influence happening between content creators and people's desire to buy. Definitely. And that's why it's just worth like think about it like this. Is it better to have Kaneda talking positively about your game because you filled them in and introduced them to the product in the right way and gave them all the inside information about how this game was made? Or is it more beneficial for you to not meet with him, make him pay for his own flight over, and just rag on the game to all thousands of people that listen every week? All you do is badmouth their products and you're wondering why they don't like you. All I do. Brandon, who are you? Who's Brandon Eng? Yeah, Brandon, that's what I do, man. I just badmouth their products. I've owned games from almost every manufacturer. Brandon, do you listen to the show? Probably not. The Kaneda dunk tank was a great idea. We'll do that one day. More fun at the beach. I can be in a bathing suit. Take a pic with Kaneda. I got an idea for a Kaneda tournament. By the way, like the tournament room at Expo is so sad. How do you guys do these tournaments? I got like a few more minutes, guys. Then I gotta go because I gotta get some stuff together. I gotta go figure out how to get ESPN Plus because I've invited people over to the fight. Um, Hector, what's up, brother? The how do you guys do these tournaments, man? Like they just look like so unfulfilling and sad, and those rooms always look so depressing. Whenever I would like walk by the tournament room, and I'd always be like, "Oh, is that like a vendor hall? Are there like product? Is there fun stuff to look at?" And then it's just like it's the tournament room. It smells like a locker room, and everybody looks miserable. Pinball tournament. Well, I love that like Beetlejuice is selling strong. Like it's not even for sale. See, here's what's happened. The distros now know what their allocation is. Can I say now, Bug? Can I officially tell people how many games Kaneda has been allocated to give to Kaneda Club members to buy? Not for free, but and who knows? They might even do something special for the Kaneda 5 editions. They're always good at like little custom plaques. Kaneda edition number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we do something like that, Bug? That'd be fun. Kaneda Club member edition. We'll make him like a super LE. Just because, I mean, my fans would love to have that. Like that, those games would never come up for sale. So the Kaneda Club edition of the next game from Spooky, like you know how you have to talk about it. Um, they're going to be fully loaded, and I mean like topper, butter cabinet. It's all or nothing. I'm not I'm not a distro now because I'm not getting the game at cost to sell to these guys for the retail cost. Go to ESPN app and search UFC. You will then see today's fight and the option to buy. Oh, hey, Kale, can I get that on Xbox if I have ESPN app on Xbox? But Kale, how do I get the ESPN app? Do I need to log in? Kale, you might have to text me your login. Can you share the login with me? I don't know how this works. I hate all this. Why can't I just order the fight? I love it. I love it. I love what's about to happen. I mean, I've been telling everybody to get on the list for Beetlejuice, and like, I think most people have listened. I love that there's going to be that one guy. I just feel bad for that one guy. There's going to be that one guy that like gets bit by the pinball bug like the day after Beetlejuice comes out. You know what I'm saying? Look, can we all just have a moment of silence for that one guy? Like that newbie doctor or lawyer who just like, I don't know, one night he's up surfing the internet and he stumbles upon a Facebook ad or he sees Pinside, and there's going to be that one guy that falls in love with like pinball like the day after Beetlejuice drops. And he's going to be like, "Oh man, this looks fun. I should go get one of these." Like literally that's what's going to happen. There's going to be one rich, bored, probably overweight guy is going to like, hey, baby, I just saw this Beetlejuice pinball machine. That's a fun movie. Should we get one for the house? There's going to be some rich guy that just learns about it the day after it comes out. And then he's going to be, what do you mean they're sold out? And then he's going to be told to go to like Pinside to see if anyone's selling one, right? Then it's over. Then, fast forward like 3 months later, the guy's got like 15 Stern LEs that all lost $5,000 each. He's like, "Oh man, this is great. I just got this." The journey of a newbie post-COVID is funny. I feel bad for those guys. I mean, well, look, we all know this. Jack Danger's in the house. What's up, Jack? We all know that. Hey, Jack, when you told Gomez to finish your game, where you were like, George, just do me a favor, don't make it clunky. Was that like the first thing you said to him? Like, George, yeah, man, George, I've been playing your games. Nothing but respect, buddy. But like, what's really going on in that upper left section of James Bond? Is that really? Don't mess with any of my geometry. See, I'd rather go the other way. I'd rather Jack Danger finish a George Gomez game than George Gomez finish a Jack Danger game. Like, just saying, people. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had a guy text me like a month ago that he just saw Evil Dead and was released, and he wanted to know if he could get one. Yeah, and yeah, Luke, you're like, it's like trying to get a Turbo Man. Like walking in and trying to get a Turbo Man, like on Christmas Eve. No, like they're just all gonna be gone. Look, gang, it is a beautiful day. This has been a lot of fun. I'm only gonna make today's show an hour. If you guys haven't seen my special guest appearance on WAP on We Are Pinball, Kaneda, Don, and Jengiz got together yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I think you should check it out. Just three dudes sharing some thoughts on pinball. Crazy how fast 90 minutes goes when you're just chatting. And that's kind of how the shows are, people. You see how it is. When you go to a pinball show, you just end up at a bar in the hotel just talking about pinball like that for 90 minutes to people. And it flies before you know if the day's over. Everybody be good. I'm going to go figure out how to get this fight and we'll go from there. How's that sound? And if you're not a member of Kaneda's Pinball Podcast, trust me, I literally am spending now $100 a month for YouTube, like $89.99 a month for YouTube live TV. Plus, I've got Disney Plus. Plus, I got Paramount. Plus, I got Peacock. Plus, I got. What happened to the world? What happened to the world? I kind of miss just having a DVR. You know what I'm saying? Remember the old days, the good old days where we had like a DVR? What was that company's name? The big DVR company? They have to be out of business by now. TiVo? Was it TiVo? I think it was TiVo. Like, remember, like, TiVo was like a thing? Like, literally, can you imagine what they must have realized how their entire model is over? Like, what do you mean they're going to stream it where, like, you don't need a box? Like a digital VCR, no more. Everybody be good. Franchi, be good. Happy Saturday. Beautiful Saturday. I'm going to go uncover the demon, go to the gym, and then figure out this fight and go get some whiskey and make some Manhattans, get messed up, and do it all again later. All right. Facebook done. How you guys doing? Later.